So I needed a new PC and I couldn't be bothered building it. So I ordered it from an Australian PC builder called Scorptec. This is what happened. These are their stories. First things first is the small box. So a bit of a look-see-do inside. Delivery came very quickly, I must admit, and ordered across Christmas. Okay, that's interesting. The power supply I bought. And obviously a cable. Not entirely sure why they've given me this. Right, good one. Save on packaging, etc., or shipping stuff, I guess. So what have we got here? We got giving me all the original boxes for everything, which is quite awesome. What else we got? Spare cabling. All the stuff I assume that came with a fractal design case. Even packed, I assume, what is the motherboard static bag. And we've got the Beast Noctua static cooler in it, and some manuals and other random useful stuff. And now, the beast. It is quite big. Might just readjust the camera position for this one. Let's get this beast of a product apart. This boxing here was torn, but I assume that was our wonderful carriers. Let's see what we got in here. A massive fractal design accessories box. Oh, this might be things like user guide for a case. Funny. Yes, so for when you're going to want to go water cooling or whatever, I assume. And then there's more strange, odd panels down below that I'll probably care about if I ever go the water cooling route. The fun that is trying to get a case out of a box. So join with me while you witness complete stupidity. So this is the Fractal Define 7. I did want black. They didn't have black in stock, and I was too impatient to wait for it to get into stock. I've got some padding around the edges. Get that cover off there. Okay, so that is silver, but only more so. Holy at the front. Right. What a beast. That's the back part of it. Please remove all internal packaging. It's kind of cool that they do that. Keep in mind this is the first time I've ever bought a pre-built PC. I usually build my own. I'll do a bit of waddling. There's the front, and there's the satisfying pull off the film thingy. It's fractal design as usual, coming through with the goods. This does flip open, although I'm meeting with resistance, and I think that's because of the packing stuff. So I should probably do that. Like these top level connectors. Very cool. Now to work out how to open the beast. I think there's just some... That was not as complicated as I thought. I've done away with the screws for the case since I last bought a defined case, which was, I don't know, 4 or something years ago. And now we have all of the packing material. I don't like the look of that. That already looks crooked. The cooler seems to be crooked. Put it down that way. I've already lost one edge. It seems very, very bent to me. Anyway, that's the end of the unboxing. You can see here that the bottom of the cooler isn't clamped to the fan, not sure why. For reference, there's the top of the case, and again you can clearly see that there's a bit of a crook and the fan is mounted higher. Everything's secured just fine here. This is a view from the top of the case, you can clearly see it again. Just some more views here, different angles. And here you can see that if they'd mounted the fan any lower, it wouldn't have cleared the ram sticks, so I suspect that's what happened there. So this part of the video is actually about a year after I bought it. Am I happy with the purchase? Absolutely. Am I happy that the cooler was bent? No, of course not. Has it affected the performance of the PC day to day? Not as far as I can tell. The point of this unboxing is not some ASMR thing or whatever, nor is it a product review. I was nervous about buying pre-assembled from Scorptec or any online PC shop, and there were almost no videos specifically from anyone around what you get from something like Scorptec, except a dude called TechBiz. So this video is more about how they assemble it, how it was packed for shipping and whatever else, because I didn't go to pick it up after it was built. It got shipped to me. Scorptec were awesome right from the beginning. From the first time I called the guy to talk about my requirements and what I'd come up with as a build. I can't say enough about how good they were. He was super helpful. He took his time, and I sort of know what I'm doing, but I wouldn't say I'm up to date with all the latest stuff. Do want to point out though, this is not a sponsored video. Actually, it's not a sponsored video. I wish it was. From what I can see, Scorptec did their best with packing, and I just suspect that it got a whack in transport somewhere because the passive coolers are quite heavy. An interesting thing that I discovered was how the bottom of the fan on one side of the fins wasn't clipped in, and I suspect that the builders...
Prototype Unit 0001 is ready to accept programming.
Did this in concert with mounting the fan higher to clear the ram sticks I did call Scorptec to talk about it, and they unsurprisingly also said that, it certainly wasn't them that bent it and it must have been in shipping or in transport. They asked me to check if the pipes were in any way pinched so that, they would block off airflow, I suppose, in the pipes, and they weren't. They also offered for me to bring it back to them for them to check it out, and if it was, wrong in any way, they were going to fix it on the spot type thing.
You gave that unit life.
My inherent laziness made that decision for me. I also spoke to a friend who's into building and all that sort of thing too, and he tended to agree that the pipes, they can be crooked, bent, whatever, as long as they're not pinched, it should be perfectly fine. My requirement for this beast was just new motherboard, RAM, CPU. I already had my GPUs and the rest of it. It's a Linux desktop refresh, but I also use it for photo editing in a VM and also video editing as well. When I originally talked with Scorptec about the build, they did actually recommend using an AIO instead of the passive cooling. I've done liquid coolers before, and nothing ever went wrong with the one that I had. It was an Antec, I think, but I just felt it was quite bulky, and this was years ago, like multiple pipes coming in and out of a huge radiator, all that sort of thing. Seeing AIOs today, they're quite small, and the extra benefit of using one of today's AIOs with little small heads on them would have been the RAM clearance. That would have made that a whole lot simpler too. Anyway, in retrospect, I probably should have gone with AIO because it probably would have cooled better as well, because up until recently, I'd been getting nowhere near 90 degrees Celsius temperatures until I started editing Canon EOS R5, 422 10-bit H.265 video. Now I'm starting to see it hit 100. So anyway, like I said, what can you do? Probably in retrospect, I should have gone for an AIO. I should have definitely picked it up maybe to avoid any risk of delivery dudes playing football and whatever else with it. But beyond that, it's a good build. It was solid. The cable management was spectacular. It's nice and clean. It's very empty considering the massive case that I got, but that was, again, for future growth because I really only get new PC every, 6 or 8 years or something. So anyway, that's it. That's the video. Like, rate, subscribe, thumbs left and right and whatever. And thanks for watching.